Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening, this is the National News Broadcast, bringing you your stories for tonight. I'm Prashant De Silva.
And I'm Ali. Let's have a look at the headlines first. A staff agreement has been signed to grant the third installment of IMF loans to Sri Lanka.
Yes.
The no confidence motion against the Speaker was defeated in Parliament by 42 votes, and the Speaker made special revelation. The first fuel ship of Shell Company arrived in the Colombo harbour. Many places of the island have received considerable rainfall. Prices of 12 essential consumer items have been reduced during the festive season. Development of Mahaweli A and B zones will be expedited. 69 refugees were saved after a boat capsized in Indonesian waters. Many more are feared to drown. His economy is strengthening again under the proper debt restructuring program implemented by the Sri Lankan government. IMF Senior Mission Chief Peter Bruce and Deputy Mission Chief Katsarian Sivendeka issued a statement commending Sri Lanka's progress under the EWF. They emphasized the importance of maintaining the reform trajectory to navigate challenges and foster economic resilience.
We're here in Colombo for the second review of the four-year EFF-supported program and the 2024 Article 4 consultation. We had productive discussions during these 2 weeks with a broad spectrum of stakeholders in the country. And in addition to meeting the authorities, we've been able to meet members of the civil society, think tanks, and a broad spectrum of stakeholders. With respect to the outcome of the discussions we have had with the authorities, I'm pleased to share with you that we have reached a staff-level agreement on the economic policies to conclude the second review of the four-year EFF-supported program. I would like to highlight that the staff-level agreement is subject to the approval of IMF management and the IMF Executive Board in the period ahead. Completion of the review by the IMF Executive Board requires, one, the implementation by the authorities of prior actions, and two, the completion of financing assurances confirming multilateral partners' financing contributions and assessing adequate progress with the debt restructuring. Upon completion of the Executive Board review, Sri Lanka would have access to about $330 million, bringing the total IMF financial support under the program, under the arrangement, to approximately $1 billion after 3 disbursements. So now let me turn to the progress the authorities have made with the reform agenda that led to staff-level agreement. The authorities are making good progress in implementing the ambitious reform agenda under the EFF with commendable outcomes, including rapid disinflation, robust reserve accumulation, and initial signs of economic growth while preserving the stability of the financial system. Public finances have strengthened following substantial fiscal reforms. Program performance overall was strong, with all quantitative performance criteria and indicative targets for end December 2023 met, except for the indicative target on social spending. Most structural benchmarks due before the end of February were either met or implemented with delay. Reforms in some areas are still ongoing. The economic situation is gradually improving. Growth turned positive after 6 consecutive quarters of contraction, registering 1.6% and 4.5% year-on-year in the third and fourth quarter of 2023, respectively. And moreover, high-frequency economic indicators point to a continued pickup in manufacturing, construction and services. Inflation has come down from a peak of 70% in September 2022 to 5.9% in February of 2024, and gross official reserves increased to $4.5 billion at end February, with sizable foreign exchange purchases by the central bank.
You had discussions with many political parties during this time. So what's their indication about the maintaining this facility, and do they propose any changes? So what's their reaction to this process?
With respect to the elections, so yes, we heard many different proposals. For us, what is absolutely key is that the program objectives are achieved because of emerging from the crisis. The path is a knife-edge path. We have to remember that. So yes, we acknowledge in our press report the green shoots that we see for the economy, and that's the beginning of a virtuous cycle, and we have to keep it there. It is knife-edge and could easily go back to a vicious cycle, and that's what we want to prevent. So we are willing to listen to alternative suggestions of how the program objectives can be reached. And these must be realistic and achievable within the time frame of the program. Let me just assure you that the program is the result of robust discussions that we had in the summer of 2022, and since then at the periodic reviews where we look at progress under the program. So I would argue it is quite well thought out, but of course we are willing to listen to alternative views. The important part is that the hard-won gains of the Sri Lankan people over the last 2 years are not unraveled.
State Minister Shehan Semasinghe expressed his views regarding the IMF agreement in Parliament. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that although some elements attempted to sling mud at and discredit the government, the IMF has not accepted these false propaganda. These elements wanted to create an uncertainty in Sri Lanka's economy. However, the IMF has signed the staff agreement today to provide the third tranche of the loan to Sri Lanka. The opposition stated that the IMF has not placed confidence over the president and the government. Proving all the false statements wrong, the IMF supports the government to rebuild the collapsed economy. The government has been able to eliminate the uncertainty and open the way for development again.
The no-confidence motion presented against Speaker Mahinda Abeyewardene was defeated today by a majority of 45 votes in Parliament. 117 parliamentarians voted against the motion, while 75 voted in favour of the motion.
පක්ෂව ලැබූ ඡන්ද සංඛ්‍යාව 75යි විරුද්ධව ලැබූ ඡන්ද සංඛ්‍යාව 117යි ඒ අනුව වැඩි ඡන්ද 42ක සංඛ්‍යාවකින් යෝජනාව පරාජයට පත් වී ඇති බව මෙම සභාවට දැන්වීමට කැමැත්තෙමි.
The relevant debate commenced in the House on the 19th of this month. It was held for 3 days and the voting took place this evening. After the voting, Speaker Mahinda Abeyewardene made a special statement in Parliament. Speaker Mahinda Abeyewardene said that some persons attempted to form a government headed by me. Their aim was to direct the country to anarchy by forming an interim government, even violating this constitution. Some politicians telephoned and proposed to form a government illegally during the Aragalaya period. As a speaker, I was heavily depressed by their influence. Their aim was not to form a government, but to create mayhem and ruin the country as one of the Libya and Afghanistan. I did not give in to them and worked at my best to strengthen democracy in the country. Some violent groups surrounded my residence and threatened to kill me even. There were popular Buddhist monks as well among these crowds. At the last party leaders meeting on the 13th of July 2022, the Parliament complex was at a vulnerable situation. All the party leaders left the Parliament premises, but I was staying there until the last moment. However, now I am satisfied with the situation that I could prevent the country subjecting to a tragedy or chaotic situation. Some elements were ready to set fire to the Parliament and destroy the mace, which is the emblem of democracy. I had managed to disrupt a huge plan to end the parliamentary democracy in the country. Had I not taken this pragmatic decision, constitution, the democratic rule of the country would have been jeopardized. There would be no parliament or opposition to present no confidence motions against me. I hope that all peace-loving people may recall the dangerous situation prevailed during the Aragale period.
And in the meantime, parliamentarians expressed numerous views at the debate of the no-confidence motion against the Speaker. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that the Constitutional Council prevails in the country since the 17th Amendment to the Constitution. Its internal affairs have not yet been debated in Parliament. In this backdrop of the no-confidence motion against the Speaker, it is clear that the opposition has exhibited their own no-confidence. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri said that within the Constitutional Council, the members can vote for or against a decision. There is no provision regarding the abstaining from voting. If we continue this dispute, the Constitutional Council cannot be maintained. When the votes are tied, the Speaker can use the decisive vote. Some elements are attempting to disrupt the activities of the Constitutional Council by citing false law points.
ව්‍යවස්ථාවත් උල්ලංඝනය කරන්න. අපි මීට පෙර ඉදිරිපත් කරන කරුණුත් උල්ලංඝනය කරන්න. උල්ලංඝනය කරලා ඡන්දය දීමේ වලකේ හිටින්න. අමුතුම ක්‍රමයක් හොයාගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මේකයි. සම්පූර්ණ ව්‍යවස්ථාදායි මණ්ඩලයේ ක්‍රියා කටිපාටියම අවුල් ජාලාවකට යවන්න. ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ මේගොල්ලන්ට ඕනේ ප්‍රශ්න මතු කරන්න. මේ කතානායකතුමාට මම ඡන්දය
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that he came back to Sri Lanka even without participating in the World Bank Summit for one single reason. The Speaker is the one who saved the country from anarchy 2 years ago during the Aragale period. He is the one who dedicated to safeguard democracy in Sri Lanka. Therefore, people should express their gratitude to the Speaker.
The first fuel ships belonging to the Shell company arrived at the Colombo harbour today. The fuel is scheduled to be sold by 150 filling stations of the Shell company throughout the island from tomorrow. The Shell RM Park company is the latest international dealer joining the fuel market in Sri Lanka. Their first fuel carrier reached the island this morning. Representatives of the Shell company, local dealers of the company, met today to discuss the swift delivery of fuel in the island.
And for more news here at home, Lanka Sathosa has reduced prices of 12 essential consumer items for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year season. At a press briefing held today, Chairman of Lanka Sathosa, Pasandayapa Abewardena, says that special relief packages of commodities will be issued to consumers during this festive season. Chairman of Lanka Sathosa, Pasandayapa Abewardena, said that the 400 grams milk powder packet that is sold at 1,060 rupees at present will be reduced by 125 rupees to a new price of 935 rupees. In addition, prices of 11 other consumer items will also be reduced. Prices of vegetables at the Tambutegama Economic Centre have decreased significantly today. Our correspondent says stocks of vegetables are being brought to Tambutegama Economic Centre from various places. He said, however, there is a shortage of wholesale traders attending to the centre these days. Accordingly, there is a huge surplus of vegetables stocks at the centre. This has caused drastic decrease of prices of some varieties of vegetables. Prices of brinjals, rich gourd, long beans, cucumber are very low these days. Prices of upcountry vegetables such as carrot, beet, beans have also gone down significantly.
The Department of Meteorology says that there may be a change in the prevailing dry weather condition from today. The department says that several rounds of rain will experience in the eastern, Uva and northern provinces. Director General of Meteorology Department Atula Karunanayaka said that there is a change of the weather pattern from today to the next few days up to the 25th of this month. Showers may occur in the eastern, Uva and northern provinces during the morning. Showers and thunder showers may occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central, northwestern and north central provinces in the latter part of the day and in the night. The rainy condition will increase in the next few days. Rains up to 50 millimeters are likely in certain districts. Several places in the northern province today received a considerable amount of rain, ending the prevailing dry weather. During the past period, people in the northern province suffered a long due to scorching sun rays. Our correspondent stated that Vaunia, Omante, Puliankulam, Mankulam, Kilinochi, Punarain and Jaffna areas received heavy rains last night. Director General of Meteorology Department Atula Karunanayaka said that there should be a considerable rainfall to ease the excessive heat condition. The Meteorology Department expects the heat condition will ease after mid-April. The sun rises overhead in Sri Lanka from the 5th to the 15th of April. Therefore, the excessive heat condition may last during this period. Showers and thunder showers are likely after the 15th of April. President Ranil Wickremesinghe unveiled immediate plans to swiftly develop the Mahaweli A and B zones, previously overlooked by the Mahaweli project, as part of the nation's transition towards a modern agricultural economy.
And he emphasized that this initiative would bring significant benefits to the people residing in these areas. He made the statement while participating in the ceremony commemorating late Minister Gamini Dissanayaka's 82nd birth anniversary this afternoon. The President highlighted that without the pioneering efforts of the late Gamini Dissanayaka in implementing the Mahaweli project, which revolutionized irrigation practices in the country, Sri Lanka would not have achieved self-sufficiency in rice production, nor would it have met its electricity demands. The ceremony took place in front of Gamini Dissanayaka statue at Anandakumaraswamy Mawatha in Colombo. Reflecting on the memories of Mr. Gamini Dissanayaka, the President emphasized that his dedication serves as an exemplary model for all. President Ranil Wickremesinghe honored Gamini Dissanayaka by laying floral tributes at his statue. The commemoration celebration commenced with religious ceremonies led by Venerable Bopitiye Dhammadesitero and Chief Sanganayaka of Shampolivanchka Mahanikaya, Malwatu chapter, Kalathura district, and Chief Incumbent of the Wadua Moligoda Degambara Mahavihara, as well as the President of the United National Party Monks Front, who conducted a special prayer. Chairman of the Gamini Dissanayaka Foundation, Governor of Sabaragamu Province, Navin Dissanayaka, Vice President of Gamini Dissanayaka Foundation, Parliamentarian Mayant Dissanayaka, former Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, and other representatives were present at this occasion.
To credit a sum of 7.5 billion rupees to farmers to accounts to purchase fertilizer for the Yala season this year. A sum of 15,000 rupees per hectare of paddy cultivation will be credited to farmers without a payback. A discussion in this regard was held yesterday under the patronage of Minister Mahinda Amaravira. Fertilizer subsidy is to be given for 500,000 hectares of paddy cultivation during this Yala season. The Cabinet of Ministers has also approved. The fertilizer demand for the Yala season is about 130,000 metric tons. The state-owned Lanka Fertilizer Company and Commercial Fertilizer Company and the private sector traders have ample stocks of fertilizer at present. Accordingly, the minister has instructed the officials to issue fertilizer for paddy cultivation and other crops without any shortage. There were some delays in crediting money to the farmer accounts during the last Maha season due to shortcomings in the farmers' database. It has been properly updated at present, and the Agrarian Development Department says that money can be credited to the relevant accounts without delay this time. Meanwhile, release of water for Yala season cultivations commenced yesterday under ancient traditions. The ceremony has been organized by the Huruluwewa Joint Farmer Association. Invoking blessings to farmer communities, people and the country is also a part of the ancient traditions. Huruluwewa has a water capacity of 50,000 acre-feet at present. The farm organizations in the area say that this amount of water is sufficient to provide water for the Yala cultivation without any shortage. The Ministry of Agriculture is slated to provide certified seed paddy to farmers on the 15th of next month.
And in the meantime, a seminar was held yesterday to educate the parliamentarians regarding the challenges they face in using mass media and the legal background of facing them. This was held at the Parliament complex. The theme of the seminar is challenges faced by parliamentarians in using mass media and its legal background. This has been organized by the Government Information Department, Director General of Government Information Dinachintika Karunaratna, Dr. Ranga Kalan Surya, Police Media Spokesman DIJ Nihal Talduwa, Attorney at Law Jagat Leenarachi addressed the seminar as resource personnel. Dr. Ranga Kalansurya said that in decisive political discussions, general public should not be enlightened on all the facts and decisions. For example, during the peace talks between the government and the LTTE, Government Representative Professor G.L. Pires and LTTE agent Anton Balasingham usually have mutual discussions prior to the political talks every day. They compromise what to tell the media and what not to tell them. If any information may lead to a chaotic situation, that information is better not to be passed on to the general public.
The 160th Police Day was celebrated before the Police Heroes Monument erected at the Police Field Force headquarters today under the patronage of IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon. Police Heroes Day is annually organized to commemorate the police officers who made their supreme sacrifice while in duty. IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon and top police officers made floral tributes to the Police Heroes Monument. Members of the Police Heroes families were also present at the commemoration ceremony. The IGP distributed vouchers to the families of police heroes who sacrificed their lives and to the police officers who were rendered totally disabled in achieving duty. We'll be back with foreign news right after this break.
Welcome back after the break. Moving on to news overseas. Indonesian media conveys that at least 69 Rohingya refugees were rescued after a wooden boat with an estimated 150 people on board capsized off the coast of Indonesia, Aceh province. The boat was thought to have run into trouble some 19 kilometers from the beach of Kuala Buwon on the west coast of Aceh after it hit rough seas today morning. Earlier, 6 people were rescued from the boat by Anthony's fishermen and taken to a shelter. The Commission for Missing Persons and Victims of Violence said that 42 men, 18 women and 9 children were brought to port. A representative from the United Nations Refugee Agency declared that the survivors' testimony suggested many had drowned and assumed 50 people have died when the boat capsized. It is thought that most of those presumed have died were women and children who are unable to swim and carried out to sea by the currents. Moving on to sports news, the 2-match test series between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh will commence tomorrow.
The first match will be played in Sylhet.
The target, will be the winning the series, test series. So I think, focusing on it, and boys are up to it also. Yeah, it's not about the condition. It's about the way you play in any condition. In any format of cricket, experience will be, valuable for the side. So I think, we have more experienced players in our side, like Angelo, Dimot, Chandimal, like that. So I think, we'll have a good side.
Yeah, we understand they have a very good experienced batting lineup. Most of the guys have played over, I think a couple of guys play over 100 test matches. So that's going to be a challenge for us, but we are up to that challenge.
Pathum Nissanka has come to the 8th position of the latest ICC ODI rankings. He has come to this position due to his good performance in the past 3 ODIs against Bangladesh. Having 2 places forward, Charit Asalanka is now at the 14th position of batting rankings. Janit Lianage, who scored the highest runs during this tournament, has come forward by 118 slots. Fast bowler Dilshan Madhusanka will miss the chance of playing IPL this year. He was scheduled to play for Mumbai Indians. However, he was injured during the second ODI against Bangladesh. Meanwhile, Matish Patirana, who was set to join the Chennai Super Kings team, will miss several preliminary matches of the IPL tournament due to a leg injury. The big match between DSN Naika College and Mahanama College in Colombo will be held on the 29th and 30th of this month at the SSC grounds in Colombo.
And a media briefing was held at the DSN Naika College grounds to inform the media yesterday under the patronage of veteran cricketer Aravinda De Silva. The big match is titled as the Battle of the Golds and organised for the 18th occasion. DSN Naika College team is led by Gaviru Snehas, while Mahanama College team led by Duvindu Ranatunga. The one-day match between the two schools will be played on the 21st of April. The trophies offered to the winners were also launched at this media briefing. Aravinda De Silva said that these two schools should be exemplary to the entire country. Therefore, students of both schools should maintain a tight discipline all the time during the match period. Cricket is the best game that we can study discipline. Players and the supporters should have the guts and courage to face both victory and defeat. Students must show positive cricket through this big match.
That's all the news we have for you tonight. We'll be back tomorrow as well with the very latest, together with Heisha and Prashant. Good night.